Lean gains. Today's video is about power meters. You're going to do a video why power meters are expensive gimmicks and you shouldn't get one. Well, I disagree with that one. I've got 4 power meters now. I've got 3 stages and 1 power tap. What is a power meter? What is a power meter? Power meter is basically, this is not power tap. So this fat hub here contains strain gauges. The strain gauge measures the force that your legs are putting for the bike, so it goes to the rear wheel. So this fat hub has got strain gauges inside. That's a power tap, which I recommend. Alternatively, you have the stages power meter. This isn't actually stages, but the stages is like a little strain gauge mounted on the back, like a bit of a big black cockroach, I call them. And they just stick it on the back of there. I've got it on my other bikes, but I've done videos about that. So why do I use this power meter? Why do I recommend power meter? Power meter is a great way to train for anyone regardless of fucking fitness. Anyone regardless of fucking fitness. If you're a total noob, learning to ride a bike again after a 30-year break or whatever, or want to get a pro contract or whatever, power meter is going to help you get your goals because it shows you what you're actually doing. No other way shows you what you're actually doing. Average speed means fuck all. Heart rate, nah, a lot of variables there. So what are you left with? Speed, this means fuck all. Heart rate, nah. Power. Power is actually what you're doing right now. What are you doing? Heart rate's more how you're responding to something, but your heart rate can fluctuate if you're taking stimulants, you're dehydrated, you're super excited, not enough carbs in the system. Heart rate can fluctuate wildly. So heart rate is not an accurate pacing tool compared to power. Power is like what you're doing right now. So if you back off your pedals, your power drops off. If you push on the pedals, power goes up. If you increase your cadence, power can go up. That's what things that's taught me a lot is now with the power meter since 2009, my cadence has gone up. Cadence means how many times you spin the pedal per minute. So optimum cadence for climbing is between 80 to 110. For sprinting, it's more like 95 to 130. Some downhill and BMXs get up to 170, even 200 cadence. So the more you can spin it, you save your sugar stores, because when you're spinning your pedals, you're burning more fat. When you're grinding your pedals, you're burning more sugars. So your sugar stores are exhaustible. So if you can spin, you can go longer, you can burn more fat, you can burn more total calories, because you just go longer, you can go better. So you want to learn how to spin at least 80 RPM. And all the power meters these days, the stages and the power tap, they come with a built-in cadence meter. So it registers, people, how do you see what your power is? So you got your thing called a Garmin head unit, and I use a few different Garmins. This one's I use for running, but also measures the power meter on your bike. So the Garmins are great. Expensive? Yeah, I mean, definitely if you're living in the West, generally you can afford a power meter. If you make some sacrifices, you can. You know, if you're fucking honest with yourself, anyone can afford a power meter if you really want it. If you really want it, you can. Chances are, you're watching this video, you live in a Western economy, and so you can be able to afford these things. If you live in a Western economy where you can maybe work some extra hours over time, you generally can afford it. If you live in certain countries, low income, then you understand. But you're probably not going to be watching my video if you're earning $1 a day, $2 a day, like 50% of the world population does. 50% of the world lives on less than $2 a day. So please don't tell me you're earning $20,000 a year or $50,000 a year. Oh, I'd like to get a power meter. I can't. Come on, that's bullshit. If you want something, you can get it. Power meter. Today I did a race, a duathlon, very hot. I lost 5 kilos in that race. So my performance went crashed down. People got to kick Duranite's ass today. I still finished, I think, 7th in the state. It was a state championship duathlon, but it was my sort of course. It was climbing. It was hot. It was a lot of running, and so there's my sort of. Yeah, I thought, yeah, I'm going to do pretty good today, my ego said, but I got smashed because after the run, I started getting dry. I hadn't been having enough sleep during the week. I've been having late nights on Instagram trolling.
You got like top 10.
Yeah, so I got top 10 in the state, but I could have got better. But anyway, so the power meter was great because I'm going up the hill, I'm going to the wind, and I could see my wattage wasn't what I normally could hold. If I didn't have the power meter, I'd be like, wow, the competition's really good today or whatever. But it wasn't that. It's just I was out of shape. I had not enough water in my system from too many late nights, not drinking enough. So the power meter showed me I was dehydrated. I was carved up, Slept not enough, but I was getting dry. I wasn't getting thirsty, but I could feel the dryness. I could tell by the wattages how they were low compared to normal that something wasn't happening. So that was a powerful tool today. If without a power meter, it would have been really, I would have struggled even more today because I understood what happened straight away. I go, I can't hold my watts. I can't hold my watts like I normally could for this climb. Means I'm getting fucking dehydrated. So I'm going to flip the switch. I went into economy mode where I just say, okay, bring it down to this sort of wattage and try and hold this versus try and just push and just blow up. I switched into economy mode, bam, and finished the race. I think 7th overall. So that was where the power meter is really helpful. It shows you what you're doing. People say, Harley, I don't race. I never want to race. Fine, but you race your mates. Aren't you in the race to get fitter? Yeah, you are. So power meter is going to help you go up any climb you want because it's going to teach you about how to get better gearing on your bike. If you get a power meter on your bike and your cadence is going at 80, you don't have enough gears on your bike to go up that climb. So get a compact crankset or get a 32 on the back or whatever. Get bigger teeth on the back. So the bigger this is like a 28. The bigger this is, the easier it is climbing, the better cadence you can have. All of the world's best climbers like Contador, etc., use a 32 on the back with a 34 up front. So that's a big spinning gear. The more you can spin, the more fat you'll burn. You'll save your legs for when it matters. Another thing with power meters is that you don't really need to understand. I don't train with like a fancy training program, whatever. I just use Strava, which is a free app. Strava. So I don't have a coach. I don't follow anything full on rigorous, but I use power to show me where I'm at. Show me what I did today. What am I doing now? What have I done today or yesterday? Am I getting better? And what do I need to do to get to the next step? Here's an example. You ride up your local climb. It takes you 10 minutes. You can hold 200 watts. You know, if you want to get better, you have to try and hold 220 watts or 250 watts one day. You know what I mean? So without a power meter, you just go, oh, I'm pushing hard. But what are you doing? You don't really know what you're doing unless you got wattages. That's what the pro riders use. And that's why guys like Dr. Ferrari and Lance Armstrong use a power meter. Most experienced, athletes around, best drug protocols, but it's all a waste of time without a power meter to objectively say, this is what the fuck we are doing now. And yes, we are improving because the wattage went up or the watts per kilo went up. So without a power meter, you cannot say you're getting fitter or whatever, especially if you've been doing it for a while. Because sometimes people have a bad day. Like today, someone might have thought, wow, I beat Duranite, I'm getting really fit. I just had a fucking bad day. But if I had a power meter on and saw that, I'd go, well, Duranite, I had a bad day because look at the watts. Duranite, I can normally do better than that. So the power meter shows you what's going on. I encourage people to get invested in a power meter. I rate the Stages cycling power meter. I rate the Power Tap, not sponsored by either company. I paid retail. Why do I promote them? Because it's cheap. They're the cheapest, the lightest, easiest to service power meters in the market. The SRM and the Quarks are expensive, heavier, flexier, require a lot of more messing around. So they're good products. They're excellent products, SRM, Quark, etc. But in 2013, almost 2014, why are you going to spend so much money for essentially something that you can get almost 25% of the original price, like Stages or a Power Tap? Why are you going to spend $4,000 or $2,000 for Quark or SRM when you can spend $700-800 and get a Power Tap or Quark? You got too much money, maybe. But then maybe buy a power meter for someone else. That's my tips on power meters. Are power meters expensive gimmicks? Definitely fucking not. Are power meters more affordable than ever before? Definitely. Will a power meter help you achieve your fitness goals? Definitely, because it'll teach you how to pace properly so you can just cruise. I went out with a friend the other day. She's like, I've never been up Norton Summit. I'm like, we'll get you up Norton Summit, guaranteed. Norton Summit, for those who don't know, it's a 5.5 kilometer climb, about 5.6% gradient. So it's a decent climb. She would get to this first 2K and go, turn around, go home. We went out there. I said, just ride next to me. And I just picked a good wattage on you that she'd be able to comfortably get up the climb. At the start, she's like pushing big watts. I'm like, no, back it off. Hold my watts, just sit next to me. Got up the climb easy. Next few days out there again. Because understanding how to pace properly is essential for climbing. Whether you're Chris Froome attacking off the front, looking down at his stem, or total beginner starting out, want to get fitter, power meter is going to help you. You don't need to get a fancy bike, but you need to get a power meter. That's my opinion. That's my experience. Post your comments and questions down below. Next question. See you soon.